On News Radio 1000 KTOK. A man who knows more about that and is joining us now on News Radio 1000 KTOK, Senator James Lankford. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you.
Well, I first of all want to thank your kind words, by the way, on the departure of our good friend Mike McCarville.
Yeah, you know what? That's a big loss for all Oklahomans, but for those of us that knew him and had great respect for him, there's a million Mike McCarville stories, but that is a classic investigative reporter that dared to ask the hard questions and got the real facts and put it out there for everyone to see.
Well, unlike a lot of today's journalism, too, Senator, he was also very, in his discourse, he was always polite.
Yeah. He was. He asked hard questions, but was always polite. His favorite restaurant in Washington, D.C. was the Monocle, and I'm going to try to get over there and to be able to eat lunch at some point in the Monocle and just sit there and think about Mike McCarville.
There you go.
At some point, so as all of us will remember him well.
Senator Lankford, it's been a busy week, I know, and even a busy night for some members of Congress. They pulled an all-nighter last night. Do we know that they got any further with repeal and replace?
So, yeah, we're working through the process of repeal and replace. It's starting on the House side. In fact, Mark Wayne Mullen is on that subcommittee that was working all night, working through that process on the House side. They're trying to work through a simple set of procedures that are incredibly complicated because of Senate rules, and it's frustrating for the House guys. The simple thing they're trying to do on repeal and replace of Obamacare is right now the federal government makes all decisions for health care and what's appropriate. That used to be the state's job, and individuals could choose what policies were out there. They're trying to flip that back over, and I'm with them on that one. Let's get the federal government out of the business of selecting what health care policies are out there people like and don't like, and allow individuals to do that again and to have more state control of those regulations again. So that's the crux of it they're trying to accomplish right now.
One of the criticisms I've read is that it's still not encouraging a lot of competition among private insurance companies. Is there anything that they're working on that'll improve that?
There is, but we're bumping up against a set of arcane Senate rules on it. This bill will be done with what's called a reconciliation process, and a lot of people have heard that term, reconciliation, but it basically is a budget method. When you pass a budget, you can come back and reconcile those things with just 51 votes later. It's the only thing that you can do consistently every year. You have one vote sitting out there that you can do with 51 votes. So we're trying to use that 151 vote package to do the budget items in Obamacare. But that means most of the policy items we can't do. You can only do things like the tax repeal. You can repeal the individual mandate and the employer mandate because those are tax related. You can do some of the spending items because they're spending related. But a lot of the policy items you cannot do by rule in this kind of bill. We'll have to come back and to do those things. So people shouldn't see this as the only standalone vote dealing with Obamacare. This is the big piece to be able to stop it in its tracks. And then follow on, there'll be multiple smaller bills that we'll have to try to get 60 votes on in the Senate to try to do the rest.
Senator James Lankford's with us, News Radio 1000 KTOK. We've heard so much about the intelligence leaks and WikiLeaks threatening to that they haven't even released 90% of what they got.
Yeah, this is the frustrating thing for any of us that serve on intelligence operations. I serve on the Intelligence Committee now doing oversight. There's no accusation out there that the CIA was spying on Americans. These are the tools and methods that they're using to be able to spy on terrorist organizations overseas, to spy on our enemies, to be able to track what's happening. The basic question is, do we want to try to gather as much information as we can from these terrorist thugs before they attack us like they did in 9/11 again? The answer is yes. If they're international and they're overseas, they're not under our constitutional protections, and I want to know what they're doing before they bring the fight to us so that we can respond to it first and protect thousands of Americans' lives. These individuals with WikiLeaks are not patriots. They do this to democracies. You don't find them releasing out the documents on Russia, releasing out documents on China. You find them doing this to democracies in the West and to the United States. And so these are folks that actually want to hurt our government and hurt who we are, not people all about transparency.
Yeah, if they do it with you, they will do it to you, which is what we're seeing right now. And, Senator, I also wanted to ask about this wiretapping, the accusations of the president against the past administration. I've maintained a position that it doesn't really matter what the Obama administration's doing. They're kind of irrelevant right now.
Well, they're irrelevant only in that if there was a wiretap like that was targeted on an American citizen, that violates the law. And that's not just the Obama administration. That have to be multiple individuals that are also within the administration. So we've asked the White House to be able to turn over whatever facts they have to us on that. We're already walking through the last 3 months of investigation on Russia in their attacks on us and our campaign process last year. And we would be glad to be able to loop that in if they can just send that over to us, and we'll be able to follow through. But this is what the Intelligence Committee does. We do oversight over process, and we want to make sure it's done correctly within the law.
The White House has made the claim, but have they made any progress? I mean, have they said they have some proof?
Well, we don't have the documents from them yet on the proof, and that's the key thing at this point. We can't follow up on an accusation. We have to follow up on evidence, and so we'll follow through on that. We have a lot of investigative information we pulled just in the last 3 months and have been able to uncover. We have a long way to go on it, and we'll finish this up in the next several months.
Senator Lankford, have a Caesar salad for me in honor of Mike McCarville.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a chance to celebrate his life and what he left to all of us.
Yeah, we'll let you know as soon as we have some details on that. 7:30 on News Radio 1000 KTOK.